Well, we just crossed into Idaho, finally here. It's been a 23-hour drive, so it's definitely a long time. We've been switching off driving since 6 o'clock last night. But this is my first time rifle hunting for elk. I've bow hunted for elk twice. And this tag is a cow-only tag. It's totally fine by me because my freezer's running really low, and it'd be great to just fill up the freezer with a ton of meat. This hunt is actually from August 1st to August 30th. It's a really rare and kind of unknown tag. For me specifically, I have a lot going on in September, a lot in October and November with just family work and my regular hunting kind of for whitetails back in Wisconsin. So I was able to draw this tag, which is only one of 5 for this unit, and that's awesome. I'm not sure how well you can hear me. We're just going through, we're supposed to have clear blue skies the whole time, and we get here and it's raining. But anyway, it's a rifle tag. It's August 5th right now, and we are really just looking we're camping in BLM, hunting in a national forest, and we're gonna be up in the mountains really early, glassing just the meadows up top in the early mornings and the evenings, and then sit in water holes during the day. It's supposed to be 90 degrees, so if we can find those water holes, find where the sign are, find where the elk are, then we'll just hang out in that area and hopefully stumble into some and knock down a big old cow. We got 7 days to do it. Should be a good time. I'm really excited. I got Riley, my good buddy Riley, and my good buddy Ethan behind the camera here, and it's just gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of time behind the glass, but it's gonna be an adventure. It's gonna be exciting. I think that's all I got. So we got here, got all settled in. Riley's making dinner now. Got our tent set up and everything. Got 3 cots in that bad boy. Pretty slick. We're hunting up in these mountains. And after we got set up and everything, what we did was we actually wanted to go pre-scout where we were gonna go in the morning. So there's all these like dirt roads. You're fine. I can. There's all these like dirt. Riley was gonna hold the camera for me, but that's fine. So there's all these like dirt roads through here. When you're looking at Onyx maps, there's all the roads, but you don't know if they're actually there or not, or how well they're maintained or anything. And hindsight, we maybe should have checked those first, but like pro tip, before you go somewhere in the morning, always go try to check those trails, because the one we wanted to take was only like 30% done. So we couldn't even go nearly as far as we wanted to. So we actually had to change our game plan for tomorrow morning. So instead, we were originally gonna drive up to 7,000 feet, get up on a peak at 7,600 and start right there. So we only had 400 feet of elevation change, and now we have to start at 6,000 feet and work up to 7,600 feet. So we got 1,600 feet of elevation change, which is gonna add a considerable amount of time for us flatlanders. I mean, our houses are somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 feet above sea level, so not necessarily built for this stuff, but at the same time, we're gonna try it, and we'll just take our time. It's about a mile and a half with that elevation change, probably gonna take us 2 hours. So that's the plan in the morning, is just eat a big meal tonight, hit the hay, and then up we go. So catch you in the morning. Those mosquitoes too. You got confirmed antlers on that thing. Thermals are gonna start dropping towards them. Our scent is. We ended up actually spotting an elk right away, but I only have a cow tag, and it is a small bull. We got super excited and jacked that it was a cow, and we were gonna make a play on it, but unfortunately, no. It's a small bull. He looks like a 4-point, maybe a 2-point, and just gonna have to let him walk. But maybe there's more in the area. You never know. Right now, they could just all be hiding. But we'll see. Good spot though. Yeah, you see those little antlers?
Yeah, looks like it might be a 4-point.
Here's what we're looking at. We're right here. We got all this green
and stuff right here, so we can't see any of this, or this is all like what's right below us.
There was one spot that was a big bed underneath one of the big pine trees.
See the truck? Oh my gosh, there it is.
Made it.
I can find our mule deer. Mule deer, and then like up on that hill there's a bunch of sheep. I don't see any elk mixed in with them. Oh, that's it for day one. First chance. Swung and a miss. Saw a bunch of bulls, or saw a bull. Bull elk, saw a bull moose, big one. A few cow moose, or what is that? Is that cow moose? I think it's cow moose. Yeah, it's cow moose. A ton of mule deer, but glass all tonight, didn't see nothing but a bunch of mule deer. So gonna kind of come back here actually, even though I say that actually, and go glass another knob tomorrow night. See how it goes.
Yeah, they're already all the way up top. They were running. Yeah. Man, a few hummingbirds and a ton of sheep. That's it. That's all I got. No mule deer, no elk, no moose. On a new spots this afternoon. Yeah, doesn't that stink? It's almost like we just need to keep gridding this, like kind of gridding these mountains apart and just coming up to these and just glass and glass, and then cut it off, scratch off that grid and move to the next. I don't know. Maybe those alfalfa fields will be the trick this afternoon if we find some good sign around them.
Alright,
You see them bedded. Like, oh, okay, here we go.
that is how you can do it. Got to talk to a farmer. He was pulling out, he was feeding his cattle, or making sure the water was here for his cattle, and asked him, said, hey, you guys seen any elk? He's like, yeah, they're around here. He's like, do you know where? He's like, somewhere's around here. Thanks for the help, man. And he laughed the whole time. So, just in here checking out all these junipers, really just driving through here. This is kind of like new, we haven't been in here at all. So checking all this out, and then probably going back. There's some ag fields out front, and we stopped into town and talked to a few of the locals. The gas station attendant was very helpful. She just kind of said, you know, everyone's saying that the elk are around ag fields right now. So we found some ag fields on the map and trying to get as close as we can. We'll see. We will see. They just keep multiplying. So we came out here, there's two big ag fields out here, and we were hoping that these elk would bed up on this hill and come down through here. They're not even bedding up here, they're literally bedding right in the field. We just turned around and looked, and there's like 3 bushes that are in there, like grassy patches, and they just keep standing up. There's 6 of them now. There's probably gonna be 7 or 8 when I look back. Oh man, it just sucks. But hopefully there's more out in these trees and whatnot. But if most of them are bedding down there, they're probably all staying right down in there. Oh man, that
not parallel to us or relative to us, but
Right.
how far is private land stretched towards us?
So they are. Looks like those elk turned around. They went back in. They never came back out of that private. So, the last 20, 30 minutes, nothing.
Made it up here this morning by myself. Nobody else is around, as you can see. Riley got sick last night. Feel bad for him. Ethan, he is just exhausted. So I really didn't want to get out of bed this morning, but I just came to Idaho to hunt, so I'm out here to hunt. Yeah, I don't think there are any elk in this area right now. There was something down there making a ton of noise, just breaking branches. I couldn't figure out what it was. Heard some mule deer blowing at it, but never able to see it. Anyway, I think that's it. Time to head down. It's about 9 o'clock. They're all laying down anyway, so time to go back to camp, refuel, figure out an evening plan. Whoa, dodge that one. Evening, day 3, going back to where we were last night, where we saw those 6 or 7 cows out in that ag field. Talked to a few people that I know who hunt this area, not this area specifically, just to hunt, you know, more desert-like conditions. And they said right now, like that public-private land boundary near those ag fields is probably your best bet. So we saw them 7 last night in that ag field, so we're headed back. Hopefully we can find them tonight and get them over on the public. We'll see. Do we go that way and go down, or do we go backwards? We just found elk poop. It's the first time ever, really. While we're out here, we've seen a bunch of bull elk stuff, but this is cow elk for sure. They're cutting through all this. Pro tip right here: if you lose your scope covers, just use your neck gaiter. It works great. It's super adaptable, really handy. Elk we saw last night, they're out in that field again. They bedded right on the edge again, but we did find some fresh poop earlier in these trees, so we actually got a general line where we think they're going to be running through. We're just going to set up those we can't kill, but anything else that comes through here we can. So maybe they have some friends who decided not to bed there last night.
Well, we just got back to the truck and we totally dropped the ball. We were sitting down in the very corner of the public and private where they all meet, and it was kind of like we sat down there. Riley was like, that's like a perfect funnel. They'll just all kind of funnel right down here, and there's this ditch that they can walk right down. And so we got down there and we were glassing the whole hillside behind us, as well as just watching the field and that little creek bed Ethan was looking at, but he had a bunch of bushes in front of him. So we were just sitting there, and all of a sudden I heard like a rock tip over, and I looked at Ethan and he goes, yeah, I think that was something. So I didn't have my gun in my hands, so I take 4 or 5 steps, grab my gun, look up, and there goes a calf, and there goes a cow right there, 40 yards. It's unbelievable, right? At the last light, it's everything that you were hoping would happen. And then like you're sitting, I don't know, it's just frustrating. 3 days without seeing pretty much, or even having close to an opportunity, and you get one at 40 yards and you're just lackadaisical and lazy. And it's, I don't know, if I were a coach, it'd be unacceptable. So it's like missing the field goal, or missing the penalty kick, or missing your free throw. It's like all you have to do is just do what you're supposed to do. Stand there, be vigilant, and shoot them when you see them. But we weren't doing that. We were just messing around. So we're coming back right away in the morning. It proves to us that they're moving off of that ag back onto the public, back and forth. We found a bunch of poop today, a bunch of signs, so we're gonna go right back there in the morning. It gets light about 5:45, 6 o'clock. We're gonna get in about 5:15, 5:30, get all set up and just wait and hope that they're out in that field and they want to come back. I don't think we'll see that cow-calf pair again, but there's multiple cow-calf pairs, and maybe we can get one of the other ones to come through, or even just a straight cow. I don't care. So, all right, let's go. Riley's watching them over here. He says they're coming up really fast right now. Just gotta make sure we got them all. Yeah, I wish they would have had a couple cows make their way up this fence line, but for some reason they just turned around and ran away. Didn't get any footage of them, but we were watching them through the binos. They were on their way, so same spot as last night. We were hoping they were just going to come right up this ditch, and that's what they were planning on doing, but they didn't. So I guess we're going to go just scout some new areas. These ag fields kind of butt up to some of these mountains, and just have to figure out which ones actually are holding elk and which ones aren't. So going around scouting, checking for just pretty much poop and tracks and seeing what we see, and then go from there. There's still a couple canyons over here that we want to check out. Maybe we'll get to those just to see if they're in there, but I don't know.
They're in here.
Yeah, they're in here. Oh, the other nice thing is that we only saw 2 elk out there this morning. So first night we were here, we saw 7. Last night we saw 4. All right, we saw 4, and then 2 came down and we almost got them. And then this morning we only saw 2. So that could mean that the other 5 are up in these, and they might come down tonight.
Also get a crack at them again tonight.
Yeah, if we don't find anything good, we'll just be right back here for the last 45 minutes of light. Hunting whitetails are out. Seriously. That's
getting to be a real grind for sure. I know I'm saying that like every time, but it's tough to get up. Riley and Ethan aren't with me. They're just totally tired. They're tired. It's wearing on them mentally and physically. Just, it's the utter lack of like animals. Like, we just can't find elk. We found them in that field for a while, botched that one attempt, but like aside from that, we're just not finding anything. So I mean, glassing all these mountains up here and all the way down, all this stuff, and we're just not finding elk. So this morning I'm kind of a lot lower. I'm running off a tip from the rancher, just saying, hey, every now and then I see some elk over here. So set up on this hillside. I did see a bull elk right up here. It was the same one that kind of had the drop time that we saw way over on that side of the mountains on day one, morning one. So he's traveled a long ways, but aside from that, I haven't seen anything. So my tentative plan here is I'm actually gonna just move and scout. I'm gonna go on a mini death hike here up and down some of these ridges, just to see if I can catch anything. I don't know. I'm just not one to sit around and wait for everything to come to me, especially when I have the capability to get moving and work around out here. I don't know if that's right, but it is what it is, and I'm going to give it a shot. So yeah.
Not that one.
So what do you guys think of this spot?
I don't know. It's a little, well, it's wetter than where we've been, but there's no sign. There's no tracks, there's no poop, there's nothing.
Zero signs. It looks good. You want it to be good, but as bad as you want it to be good, you can't will a spot to be a good hunting spot.
Yeah. Plus
Truth.
that dude told us it was kind of dead and there's nothing else in here, so looks like it's back to the farm tonight. I mean, we were gonna do that anyway because Ethan can't remember his clothes, but that's whatever.
Yes.
So yeah, they weren't over there. So we came this way. We're gonna go check and see if they're right out here. So this is that ditch. There's the fence line. This ditch comes to a point right here. We're gonna try to get on this point. We need to stay up because the thermals are coming right down this hill. So we need to stay like back or up or something. We need to figure that out once we get there. But yeah, hopefully they come. Hopefully they're out there and they're coming up this fence line. So we just got over here to look at the other side, the north side of this field, and the elk are here. There's 6 of them, probably 7. They're all kind of one herd, but I can only see 6. They're sitting in the private right now, kind of really slowly meandering their way up this way, but they've done that a couple times, then they just turn around and run back to the field. So we're just gonna sit here, wait a little bit, and if they start like actually coming up here, we're just gonna drop way down into the bottom. Actually, you know, let's just drop at the bottom right now. Because if we stay up here, like, we're not going to kill them up here. And they're not going to go all the way around us. They're either going into the field or they're coming here. So let's just drop down right now. Just got to be careful of our wind.
they were coming like right at us, and then we were kind of stuck because our wind was blowing at them. So then we tried to get out of the way so our wind wasn't blowing at them, or tried to stay behind them. I wonder what scared them out of that field. I think it was like a vehicle driving, a farm truck or something. But all of a sudden they just started running towards us, and they weren't coming, like, we were right up the fence line from them. And that's what we thought, like, if they were going to come out, they'd probably follow the fence line. They didn't. They hopped the fence line and just went diagonally across this field. So we just tried to kind of stay up with them, keep our wind, you know, our wind's going downhill right to them, so we had to like stay behind them so that they wouldn't smell us. But clearly that didn't work. And then they busted us, and then they ran 50 miles an hour across this field, and we tried to catch them. It didn't work. So that's kind of it, I guess. I don't know, like, we've been hunting these same elk, these 7 elk for the last 4 days. Spooked them twice now. They probably smelt us more than that. I don't know. I think they're gone, but in these like early seasons, it seems like there's a few things that we really learned here is, like, be mobile. So be super mobile. Don't think that you're going to set up a base camp and just hunt out of it like you are in September, because like the elk just aren't moving like they normally would in the rut. So I should have known that. I mean, I really should have, like, you know, same as whitetails, like food, water, bed until, you know, whitetails are typically November, but for elk it's like September, mid-September, then it all hell breaks loose and you can go do whatever. But it's just tough talking to any of the people around here. They're all saying, like, yeah, hunt the fields. They're all on private. And this person who owns this field is out of Salt Lake City, Utah, according to Onyx, and I don't know how to get a hold of them. It's not like I can snail mail them or anything. So we'll see. And I don't think he'd even let us hunt this anyway, because the rancher that we were talking to was saying, like, this is his private little honey hole, and they shoot really nice elk out of it every October during rifle season. So I don't think they're gonna let a few hunters in to go kill some cows on it. So yeah, stay mobile and hunt the food in this early season. I mean, this is kind of like a dry desert, and we thought we were gonna find them up high, but it's just so dry. There's nothing up there. And then also another big thing is I had no idea that cattle would be run on this national forest and BLM. And same with sheep. Like, we had no idea that they'd be on there, because when we've hunted in Colorado, there's never any cows or sheep. We never run into them on the piece that we've been to before, so I didn't even think about it. But I think that really messes it up too, and kind of moves the elk around and screws your hunting up. And yeah, it's been an adventure. It's been a trip, that's for sure. It's hot. It's really hot. And the other thing is have activities for the day, because we sat water holes and we checked. They weren't there either. It's tough. It's tough coming in blind to these brand new scenarios and trying to figure it out. And we found the elk, and we got freaking close to day 3, evening 3. We should have had it. We were just goofing off, pretty much is what we were doing. We just didn't think like elk were quiet. Riley put it perfect. He goes, yeah, we thought they were going to come down with a bell around their neck, like, hey, come shoot me. And they snuck in. We were, what, 30 yards from the fence, and they snuck in between us and the fence. It's like, man. It's been real. It's been real, Idaho. You've been a pain. Oh, I found a shed. Yeah, this is what I'm holding on to. When I went running after those elk, I made it at about 300 yards, stopped, belt keeled over and died, and I found a shed. So I guess it works out a little bit. But yeah, I think that's it. You know, if you're hunting this early season stuff, I had no idea how it was going to be, and I thought it was going to be high mountaintop glassing and find an elk and then spot and stalk and you're good to go. And this is totally not the case. It's lowland, cows are low, ag fields, sagebrush, juniper trees, and just, like, you know, it's the last 30 minutes of light and the first 30 minutes of light that really count. All right, let's go meet Riley. Talk to him.
Let's do it.
Where's that west wind you promised? Ah,
Weatherman are never right.
right? Ugh. Should have just waited like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then our thermals would have been coming up. Nah, probably longer than that, probably 30. But they were going across the field. I don't know, yeah, like if that guy would have, whoever drove through, if he would have just been like 15 minutes later or something like that. 20 minutes later.
Yeah, might have had a chance then.
Ugh. Where are our bags?
I don't know. That's your job. Where's the GPS?
Oh man.
You got your GPS, right?
Yeah, but I think they were under these bushes. These were the bushes where we started.
All the bushes look
But
the same.
I feel like we carried them somewhere.
We definitely carried them somewhere, and then we put them down.
Set them down and then we just ran. Aw, man. Should have shot that coyote.
Yeah, we should have.
He was like 100 yards.
Still could.
I don't know where he is. I hope our bags are up here.
Yeah, me too.
Yep, they're here.
Whew.
Found him.
All right.